stamping friends, welcome to the Joy of Stamping with Rachel. I'm Rachael Coon and our Wednesday's kit class. Today I'm showing you the brand new early release from the annual catalog called Butterfly Brilliance. I can't say it, but it's really awesome. So hold on while I flip and I'll show you all about it. All right. Oh, hold on. There we go. Now we have it in view. Just make sure that you guys can see everything okay. Let's get it just like that. Actually, I'm going to rotate this a little bit more down, hopefully. Sorry, you guys. Hang in there. Just want to make sure that's angled just right. Okay. So for today's class, I'm super excited to share with you these brand new stamp set called Butterfly Brilliance. And I'll have to say that really slow because that's going to be a tongue twister for me. And it also has these amazing dies that come along with it called the Brilliant Wing Dies. Let me show you some of those real quick while we have them here, because I'm not going to actually run any of them through my die cutting machine. I already did that to help us with our process. So before I go any further, sorry, I always forget. This is our Wednesday's kit class, and that means whenever you order with the hostess code from now until Friday, $35 worth, I'll send you all of the paper products for these 3 cards, which is pretty fantastic. And all you have to do is have the stamp set and the inks to finish it, and otherwise you'll have everything you need to finish these cards. All right, back to the dies. These are amazing. They're called the Brilliant Wing Dies, and I am not traditionally a butterfly person. Oddly enough, this is my very first actual stamp set that has just butterflies in it. I've had like little ones here and there, but I'm super excited for this one because it is amazing. Okay, let me show you why. This is a die that cuts out 6 butterflies at once. And I know you're saying, what if I don't always want 6 butterflies? Don't worry, that's easy. All you would do is grab the size that you would need of paper, stamp it on there, and then just cut 1 out. However, this came out really handy when I stamped all of them, had all of my butterflies ready to go. And then also when I stamped vellum, I had 6 vellum butterflies with just 1 crank through my die cutting machine. Pretty awesome. But that's not it. So that's one part of the dies. Then they have all of these amazing detailed dies. So there's this great one. And you'll notice that these also go along with the sizes over here. So you can die cut a detailed out and then have a solid image there and pair them together. Let me show you the card that I made earlier today just to show that. This is this awesome vellum and black card where we have our butterfly right here that has the detailed on top and the vellum and the solid below it. Isn't that just amazing? I love this card. Super easy, and it has the inside as well with that little DSP peekaboo. Super fun. Okay, I'm gonna get ahead of myself. There's just so much to show you. All right, next are these additional cute little dies right here. These ones have no stamp and no coordinating one to go with or anything like that. They're just extra little butterflies. Then these 3 pieces here are pretty fantastic and kind of crazy. This one we use in our brick card for that one, and it creates these little brick holes in your paper. This one I didn't use today. I should have got a sample for you, but it just cuts out these little kind of like a splatter of holes that are organized and look really cool. And this one right here we use in a card, and it kind of embosses / cuts it, but not all the way through. So there's no actual cut line around it, just leaves little slits. It is pretty awesome. So there are those Brilliant Wing dies. I'm going to show you how to use a card just using the dies, and then also a cards using the stamp set as well. On top of that, right now through until May, or while supplies last, Stampin' Up! Has released some DSP. So it's called the Butterfly Bijou, and it's a 6x6 pieces of paper. Comes in a pack like this, all cut up, and it has great little ones. Like I've used this one for it, and for this card, I've used that DSP as well for that background piece. The awesome thing, though, is that you can also cut out these perfectly colored butterflies using that one giant die. They line up perfectly, and with one crank through your die cutting machine, you get 6 butterflies already colored. I'll show you that in a little bit as well. All right, I think that hopefully is it for different details I want to tell you. Oh, actually, there's not. There's more. So as you may notice, with this stamp set, there are actually no greetings, no words. It's just the butterflies. So let me show you which one I've paired up with ours today. I am using the many messages, and this one is very similar style to the butterflies that we're using, because those butterfly stamps is just all one giant stamp, and that's the same thing for this one. So let me show you. Is one giant stamp. I stamped it once on a piece of Whisper White with the Night of Navy, and then I die cut them all out using this one giant die. See how awesome that is? And this has little scallops and stitches galore. And I actually made this weeks ago, probably when I first got this in December. I cut them up and had them in a little baggie, not knowing what I'd want to use them for. And so for today's messages, I'm just picking random ones out of the bag, and I'll attach them and they will be perfect. So I'm suggesting that one for you if you need some many messages, because there's lots of great sayings on this, or use whatever you currently have to finish off your kit. All right, now I think that's it. Let's go ahead and make a card. I want to show how these are all featuring different things today. So let's start with this one right here. This one is showing off a couple stuff. It has this also Natural Touch specialty paper that is available right now and only available while supplies last, and it will not be in the annual catalog. The stamp set will be, the paper won't be, and that paper won't be. So pre-order or get this now so you have it beforehand, and these will be gone before you know it. So if you love it, be sure to order this sooner than later. All right, let me go ahead and get this out for you. Of course, I have all the measurements will be over on my blog, and I'll try to tell you some of them. But for the most part, these are very, very basic measurements. And the paper and the butterflies are doing all the work for us. Okay. So I have a basic white card base, and I have our Natural Touch paper. I want to show you this paper closer now, because you can kind of already see how awesome it looks. Like these has these little wood grains to it. It comes this way, and it has that natural wood color to it. These little marks, however, were part of the dies that I showed you earlier, that if I flip it over, you can kind of see how it kind of cuts it, but mostly it leaves it embossed and just adds that extra texture. So I went ahead and did one in each corner, and we're going to go ahead and attach this to our card base. And I have it measuring so it's covering up the whole card front. If you didn't want the whole card front, you could just trim it down, but I wanted this to be the complete front of this card. So I'm just going to line it up against that score and smooth it out. Awesome. Next, we're going to grab our piece of DSP. On the other side is this awesome looking kind of blotchy sky look to it. We're going to use this rainbow of butterflies. We're going to take our Misty Moonlight twine. And I'm trying to remember, this is a combo pack from our annual catalog. If you know the name of that one, shout it out to me. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. But I'm just going to take some twine, and I'm going to wrap it around it at least 2 times. And give myself enough room to tie a bow. There we go. I usually let myself have about 4 inches on each side to use to make my bow afterwards. from cutting. We're going to just attach this on there. I chose the Misty Moonlight twine with that little glitter because it matches so nicely with our paper today. All right, let's go ahead and grab dimensionals. We'll put those on the back. We'll need at least 6 for this one because it's a fairly long piece. 1 in each corner and in the side. Now it's up to you if you want to flip this and have it kind of go at an angle, kind of like that, or if you want it more straight on. I want to make sure you can see a little bit of those textured items that I had earlier that I made on there. I probably could have gone a little bit further out so you could see them more, but they're just fine. And the paper right here even has some awesome texture to it. All right. So next we have just a stitch circle I use with the stitch shape dies, and we're going to use dimensionals to attach that. And we'll flip that over, and I want a little bit of this to hang over on this card front as well, kind of like that. All right, so that's a basic of it. Now let's figure out what we're going to do with our butterfly. There's lots of options. You could even leave it plain as it is. I have it stamped in the Misty Moonlight is the color for this one. But if you want to change it up, we're going to go ahead and use our sponges and our blending brush. I'm going to grab my blending brush and my Just Jade. We'll open up this ink. Like that. We're going to take this. We're going to do a little tap off right there to make sure it's not too dark. And we're just going to blend some on the bottom. I'm going to use this for the bottom of my butterfly only. If you look at that paper, it kind of has that cool ombre look to it where it gradually goes from one color to the next. And that's kind of what we're trying to do with our butterfly here. Give that same look to it. I want you to notice that this butterfly is not the same butterfly as that one. It's one of the 6, and these 6 butterflies are completely different from each other and from all over the globe. They told us about that recently, that they're representing almost every single market that Stampin' Up! Is in, which is pretty fun. So now I'm just taking my sponge. If you don't have the blending brush, because they are in back order right now, you just go ahead and use a sponge instead. So we'll just tab off a little bit and then come over and ink up these wings, just like that. Perfect. Let's close up that Magenta Madness. And let's add some dimensionals. Actually, for the butterflies, what I like to do is I'll go ahead and crease it, kind of fold it like that, and we're going to grab a glue dot to make this guy pop up just a little bit. If you didn't have a glue dot, you could totally use a dimensional in the center of it as well. We're going to just go to his little middle and put him on an angle like that. Oh, I'm loving it. All right, let's go ahead and pick out a saying for this one. Let's grab our little bag of words. So before I had sending happy thoughts. So you want something kind of that similar size. How about, oh, this is a perfect one. This one says, thank you ever so much. Perfect. We'll grab just a little bit of adhesive. You can even put a glue dot on this one if you wanted to. But we're just going to have it hang off the bottom of our circle. It says, thank you ever so much. And then we're going to grab our blue backed, let's see, I always say it wrong, blue adhesive back gems. And if you see that, there we go. These were a carryover from our holiday mini catalog, and they are one of my favorites. They're so pretty, and there's 2 different shades. We're going to go ahead with that lighter shade, and we're going to grab a bigger one first and just put it on the bottom of our circle, below our circle, I should say. Then another one right there, and we'll add one more to this top corner. Perfect. Let's grab our bone folder. And we'll finish off this card. There we go. I love it. Super easy. The paper really does all the busy work, and we just did a little bit of sponging to that butterfly. to make it pop a little bit more. Love it. All right, let's go on to our next one. Let's do this guy. This one features just the dies. I don't use the stamp set at all, but we just use the dies to create that cool brick look to it, and these detailed butterflies and those little tiny solid ones to create this kind of rainbow effect. Let's go ahead and grab this kit. I use a So Saffron card base. It's a very light yellow, which is super fun. And then I want to show you a couple of things for this one. I have my basic white is in that 4 by 5 1/4, and I've already went through and ran it through my machine with that really neat brick die. We're going to go ahead and add some adhesive just around this area. Get a little bit maybe in the center, and we're going to attach our DSP. So I could even have it with a butterfly wing side. Let me see how that would look. So that's kind of cool too, if you wanted to have butterflies through the bricks. I'm going to go ahead and just keep it with this kind of like that cloudy, spacey look right there. We'll flip it over, and I have this measuring about 3 by 4, and I think that's just 4 inches there, 4 by 3. And then we'll add some more adhesive to that bottom, a little bit on top of the DSP, and some of the very top up here. And we can add that to our card base. Make sure you can see that okay. Just like that. And lay it down. Awesome. All right. Next, let's go ahead and grab our detailed dies. I left them like this for 2 reasons. When you get your kit from me, your butterflies will look like this. I will not go ahead and poke all these through for 2 reasons. It takes a lot of time, and secondly, it gives a little bit more stability when it ships to you, and they're really easy to pop up. So either grab the end of your scissors, you grab your pick a tool side, and you'll just start poking these out just like that. And they really do come out really easy, but they do make a really big mess. Kind of like confetti, butterfly confetti. Could that be a thing? Could I put these in a shaker card? I don't know if anyone would like that, huh? But that's okay. This color right here, I believe, is the Just Jade. So I wanted to have it kind of like a gradual rainbow effect to it. So we start with our darkest color on the bottom with our biggest butterfly. And we do have bigger detailed butterflies, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't covering up the whole card front. I wanted it to be proportional. Okay, there we go. So there's that one. And what you could do for this one, you could just use your good old liquid glue. We're going to go ahead and just put it on his middle part right there. Make sure I get that loose piece off, and one more right here. There we go. So much detail, right? These are fantastic. Okay, so I'm going to make sure we angle it just like that. So it's covering up a little bit of our brick, but not too much, and not going outside of our score line. All right, next color has a little bit we need to poke out, but not too bad, is our mint color. I always say it wrong, so I usually just call it mint, but this is our mint macaroon, I want to call it. There we go. Add just a little bit of liquid glue to it, and you can have this going at the diagonal if you want, and kind of changing so it looks like as it's moving. So this one I have it facing that way. I'm going to just shift this one a little bit going the other direction. You could even lift up the wings a little bit to give them some lift to it. There we go. And then we have our So Saffron. That's the same color as the card base. I made the next size. There really is so much detail on these little dies. You can see even have these cute little antennas. Look at that. So cute. Okay. Again, a little bit of liquid glue. because it is so detailed, you really don't need a whole lot of glue on this one. Let's go ahead and have this one going that way. And then this guy right here is our next one. And I went ahead and grabbed a mini dimensional, stuck it in the middle, and had him pop up. We'll have him flying a little bit differently than everyone else. And lastly, our cute little, very little light one. That's, I think, our blushing bride. There we go. He'll be at the top of our rainbow butterflies. Super cute. I'm loving it already. All right, so then we need to pick a saying out of our fun grab bag. And I really do like this one. It says, just a card to say hello. Let's go ahead and grab dimensionals for the back of this one. I think I'm going to do just 2. And we'll put that over here in this corner. Kind of like a bottom corner there. Perfect. For the embellishments on this one, I use the holiday rhinestones because it has some of the different colors. And I've used up all of my yellow from this side. So I'll probably snag one of these red ones instead for the next step. Let's go ahead and put a big one right here with a little one going a little bit above it and at an angle. And we'll grab one of these little red ones and stick it in between here. Kind of give that rainbow effect still going. All right, lastly, one of my favorite things to do, let me make sure I have it nearby. Oh, here it is my Wink of Stella. So if you look closely on this one, which is really hard to see in the camera, a little bit, you can kind of see where I've flicked some Wink of Stella. When you get this card in person, you will see it. I've gone from this corner to this corner across, and I've just have flicked a little bit of glitter on it. So the way to do that is you go ahead and just push a little bit on your Wink of Stella so it's coming out. You grab your bone folder and we're going to do some tapping with it. And you just go over your area and it's going to tap out some of that wink. And like I said, the camera does not pick up on it very well at all. But trust me, it is there and it is going to look amazing. Kind of see a little bit of glitter. And that's just an extra little touch, is that if you have a Wink of Stella handy, it's something you could totally do. All right, let me grab my bone folder. And this one is then done. Our cute little rainbow butterflies flying up with that brick wall behind it. Super cute. Oh, hey, Marjean. She says she loves these butterflies. I know, they're so fun. So fun. All right, our last card. Ooh, I want to show you this. I had vellum right here for this little butterfly, and I have his little pink spot underneath here. That would be another great card in the making, to have the coloring underneath it even. Love vellum. All right, let's go on to our last card for our kit today. And this one I'm going to actually stamp with a stamp set. So let me get that out and show you what it looks like. You either will need the F clear block or your Stamparatus, because this guy is huge. He is like almost the whole size of the case that he came in. I have them on our Stamparatus today. I'm going to open them up. You can see how they're all together. So one stamp and done. Let me grab a case. There we go. And we're going to stick that underneath like that so it can lay nice and flat for us. That's my other tip. When you use your Stamparatus, just use your case from the stamp to put underneath it to have it at level. Let's go ahead and grab our card base for this one and our stitch rectangle. So we are making now this card right here. This was actually inspired by Stampin' Up. They gave lots of fun samples for us to look at. And I love this one because it shows us how we can use this stamp as a background. So this one we didn't use the stamp at all for the butterflies, just the dies. And this one we did use the stamp, but we used it and then cut out just an individual butterfly and then used the sponging. So this one we are going to make a background. This butterfly here, I've used blends, but I'm also going to show you how you can use the DSP on this card as well. All right, let's go ahead and grab that stitch rectangle that we're going to stamp on for our background. And I'm going to lay it right here. So what I would do is just look at it to make sure that I have it enough like that before I ink it up. Looks like it's at a great spot. You can even see where I've inked it before, where my butterfly lines are. I have this in Seaside Spray, is that blue I'm using, and then I'm using the Misty Moonlight to ink up my butterflies. So we're going to go ahead and grab our ink pad and just go over every single one. It's okay if it looks a little messy. We'll clean it up afterwards. This giant stamp. Okay. And if I don't stamp it right the first time, I can always do it again if I use my magnet. So I'm going to stick my magnet maybe right there. Let's see if that will interfere with it. Move them over just a little bit. A little down. There we go. All right. You guys ready? I'm going to put our butterfly. Oh, my magnet's moving. We're going to trust that we do this right the first time. Let me go ahead and move my magnet completely. There we go. It was wiggling too much. I want to stay. Okay. There we go. Close the Stamparatus. And I'm just going to go over it and kind of smooth it out. I don't use my Stamparatus very often in videos because I'm not mass producing, but this is a great tool to use to mass produce or when you have these giant stamps. I also use my Stamparatus when I use my many messages as well because of the fact that it's just a huge stamp. And it would be hard to even hold that F block. So I love this because it's level, it's down, I'm not shaking it. And when I lift it up, it's beautiful. Look at that. Perfect. All right, I'll clean that off later. Let me go ahead and just move that out and grab the rest of our pieces. All right, so you can see I have all these different little butterflies here, and I have our DSP butterflies too. So I've cut these ones out, and look at these. Beautiful. So they're different colors and different sizes, and cut them all out at the same time. Pretty awesome. Okay, let me go ahead and show you real quick how you would color it with the blends. So this one I use my stamping blends for. And for this card today, and in your kit, I will actually send you the DSP butterfly. So let's set this aside. We'll assemble this in just a second. Let's give you some tips for coloring. I'm going to use this big, beautiful guy right here, which I have him in that Misty Moonlight. Oh, he's so cute. And I'm going to grab just a couple of red tones, yellow tones, and orange tones. And we're going to close our ink first. Shame on me for leaving that open. Okay. We'll put our butterfly in view so we see them. I'm going to grab, let's do our light daffodil. Perfect. We'll grab the brush side, and I'm just going to go mostly in the center. Just kind of color it like that. I'm going to go ahead and color his center yellow as well. And just start your coloring of your different shades. I'm also going to go in this way a little bit with this yellow. And up to this one as well. Remember, butterflies are asymmetrical, or they would be the same on each side. So whatever you do to one side, make sure you do to the other. Then we're going to grab our light pumpkin pie, and we'll color just a little bit on the top here. And then we'll color on the top on this one. Loving it. And then we can go around our bottom here as well. And there's no rhyme or reason. You can even look up different butterfly colors of how to color yours. I just kind of making mine with different layers and different colors. Okay, let's grab our light poppy parade, and we're going to open up our brush side and go on these ends here. Just making it nice and bright and really pretty. Just like that. Love it. And you can kind of go over where it meets the next color, so that way it looks like it actually blends together. If you want to add a little bit more, go to your dark poppy parade and do your very ends here. There we go. And that'll just give that extra little detail. Love it. Right there. Of course, you could always do more or less, or even add some Wink of Stella to this butterfly. But that kind of gives you an idea how easy it is, and you don't always have to use Memento ink. Because this is alcohol-based and our stamps pads are water-based, you could use any color to be your start color. So I use that Misty Moonlight for mine, but you can use any of our water-based ink pads and color with your blends. Super fun. All right. Let's go ahead and finish making this card now. So we've stamped our background. Let's go ahead and add dimensionals to this piece here. I'll grab our big dimensionals out. Add just a handful. Remove the backings of them. And then we're going to flip it over. Try to center this one as much as you can. Kind of hover like a butterfly, hover over it. There we go. Then we have a piece of vellum. I've cut this out with the stitch circles, just like we did from the other one. And you're going to put just a tiny bit of either of a glue dot or your Sil or Sil Plus in the center there. Just like that. Because we want to be able to cover up that adhesive with our butterfly. Now we need to pick a butterfly. Which butterfly should we use? We have that beautiful yellow one, that pink one that's a little bit smaller. We have a little yellow one. We could do blue on blue. That could be fun. Or there's even the mint color for that one. So many choices. And this one is the same size of this one, just in that different color. So let's see. Should we do the big yellow one? I say let's do the big yellow one. Sounds like a plan. All right. So let me double check. This guy, I think we just use a glue dot. Yep, he's just glue dotted on. We'll grab those real fast. We'll put one on the center. He is huge. This is the big butterfly. We'll put him right there. Then let's go ahead and make a nest. So we have our twine, our Misty Moonlight twine. You're going to take it and go about 3 fingers and wrap it 3 times. 2, 3, grab your paper snips and trim it off. Then you can either put a line of adhesive right here, or I like to do the glue dots. So I'm going to grab 1 glue dot and 2 glue dots and just stick it across from each other about 1 inch apart on each side of this butterfly. And then we can put our little nest nicely right there. This is all going to be covered up with our cute little label, which we're going to pick out from our mini messages. Okay. Let's see. What should be our last one we do today? Ooh, I think I found a winner. There's so many good sayings in here, so it's fun. So usually I'm looking for what size will fit in this one. And then doing the sending a smile your way. See if you see that one? There we go. He's nice and little. And we're going to put some mini dimensionals on him because he is so little. And I want to put it 1 in the center and then 2 on the far ends from where our twine is because we want this to stick to the paper. Okay. Almost got it. Let me know if you guys have this stamp set yet and if you've gotten a chance to play with it, if it's on your wish list. It'll be coming out. It will be in our annual catalog as well. And so if you don't get it right away, you could always wait then. But it's so fun now, and that special paper is pretty awesome. And that won't be there. All right, the last part of this one is just to use some of those rhinestones. So this is the holiday ones. We're just going to put that blue color and have them going onto our circle and 1 above here. So 2 below, 1 above. Grab our bone folder. And there we go. All right. So we have 2 pretty awesome butterfly cards using that background for our butterflies is where that came from. And then we have our blend butterfly and our DSP butterfly. We made today also this really cool sponge or blend butterfly with its matching DSP. And our last one that we have made was this really cool see-through peekaboo brick one with our rainbow of butterflies. All right, you guys, I hope you've enjoyed this class today. Be sure to order if you want to get the kit items for me by Friday this week. Happy stamping, everyone. Goodbye.